So part of forces is also knowing what type of forces there are and how forces can be affected by both speed, shape and direction. And we also need to classify forces in terms of gravitational or electrostatic forces. So let's look at change in speed first. When an object is stationary, its forces are equal. So that's its force forwards and its force backwards, i.e. friction and thrust. The gravitational force and upwards forces are also balanced, otherwise it would be flying or going into the ground. Because of this, it's going to be balanced forces. But when an object is accelerating, the forward force is going to be larger because it's going forward. It's getting faster going forwards. So it's going to be larger than the backward force and the object accelerates. When the object is at constant speed, the forces are still balanced. The object continues to accelerating as thrust is larger than drag, and these forces will eventually balance and the object is at constant speed. When an object is decelerating, the backwards force is larger than the forward force. Therefore, it's going to slow down because the backwards force, the friction, makes it slow down. With changes in shape, these can affect the momentum. Now, if we remember the equation change in momentum equals force times time, then that is an example of how shape can change it. Now, crumple zones in cars, they deform when you make a collision. This increases the amount of time it takes for the person to stop, it reduces the acceleration and it reduces the force, which will reduce the injury. And this is how crumple zones help to change how much force is acting on you in the event where the car changes its shape, i.e. in the crumple zone. Finally, the change in direction. Objects will move in the direction where the greatest force is acting. So let's have a look at the diagram. Let's say that drag is 10 newtons, but the thrust is 15 newtons. Because 15 newtons is the greatest force, it's going to move forwards. And this force is called the resultant force. And finally, you need to know the 4 types of forces. Very simple. It's gravitational, electrostatic, weak and strong nuclear, and magnetic. You might learn more about these individual types of forces, but you don't need to know all about them at this point.